Hi, it's me again with another little video on different methods I use personally for my model rocketry. There's some people out there that are building the U.S. rockets, F with multiple D pods, and the latest thing running around is how do I secure my engines in the pods or in the main, because it doesn't come with engine hooks or engine blocks, and people are asking, do I need an engine block, do I need a engine hook or anything like that? And you don't. You can actually use a friction fit and it will work fine. I've launched this rocket 4 or 5 times and not had a single problem with it at all. Of course, first thing you need to do is you have your engines ready, and I always sand my ends, just to make sure that there's no roll or curl of the paper tube. Just kind of sand it down a little bit and you can roll it across the table. Anything to help get any edge taken off so it slides easily into the tube. Okay. Now the next thing we have to do is we have to make our tape thrust ring. On the F.I.T.S, it comes with a 24mm adapter for use in the F section. Here I have an F.I.T.S adapter ring. Put it in the right way. And I actually measured how much tape I needed to make a thrust ring to prevent the engine from sliding forward and lock it in place in the 29mm mount. So I made my thrust ring doing that for the adapter. For the engine, we're just going to use masking tape and we're going to wrap it around it and we're going to slide it right into the pod and we're going to tape it in place. Now I do enough tape to make it come flush and even, and I found out that by measuring trial and error, just playing around, that I need about 20 inches of tape. I've got my ruler here. We're going to go about 20 inches. We'll cut that piece off. Get tired of trying to find the end of your tape all the time? Just fold it over on itself. Real easy to find. Trick I've done for years. Now I'm going to use an E-engine just because it's easier to handle and easier for the camera to see. I'm lining up right on the end, and I'm just going to go ahead and go around the engine until I've completely used up the 20 inches of tape that I like to use. All we're doing is preventing the engine from going forward with the thrust ring. That's all the purpose of this tape is. So if we have a good solid butt up against the tube, it's not going to go any further up into the rocket than that tape. Alright, so we've got it all the way around. Now if it were a D engine, I'd be sliding it into my motor mount, and it is flush. Now how do we secure it in there so the ejection charge doesn't fire it out or shoot it out of the pod? Using tape. Tape is really, really great. It will hold it. We'll just take a small piece of tape and we're going to go around the engine tube. Little trick, if you pull towards the spiral, you might unwind it, so always put your tape on opposite the spiral, and that way hopefully you don't ever pull your spiral loose. I've had people tell me use blue painter's tape because it won't adhere to the tube as hard, but isn't that kind of what we want it to do, is to adhere to the tube? So now we've got the tape wrapped around. We're going to insert it in and just screw it in place. And believe it or not, that little bit of tape will keep that engine from coming out. How do we do the pods? Just cut a piece of tape. Line it up on the pod, half on the engine, half on the pod, bring it around, trim off the excess. That little piece of tape will keep the engine from ejecting out. It's a dirty engine because it's been used. Get it on there, adhere it on nice and good, give it a little rub, make sure it's on there, and it will hold it and prevent it from ejecting out. So a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, be careful, be sure to push on the tape, make sure it's on there. Again, I found out that 20 inches equals the depth or the thickness of the body tube walls. But I've launched my rocket many times in this manner, using just D12-7s all the way around. And I've also launched it with a 29mm Cicerone F. And of course, in that case, you're not using the adapter, but the Estes ring holds it in there just fine. So how I retain rocket motors in a lot of my rockets, actually, with just tape and not even doing the friction fit, just taping the motor in and using the tape as a thrust ring. And just for the people who do have this rocket, I store this in the payload bay in the top of the rocket. I try to always store any parts that come with the rocket, adapters or anything else, with that particular rocket so I don't ever lose them. Hope you enjoyed, hope it helps you out, and feel free to look at all the different videos I have online. Rocket Family KML on YouTube. Like, comment, and hey, let's keep everybody interested in rocketry and have fun. Keep it safe. Keep them flying.